As we see chaos in other parts of Iraq, here in Kurdistan, where I am, in the northeast region of Iraq, the situation is much calmer due to the fact that they have a stronger army and in many ways a stronger government than the central government of Baghdad. We've also got a big building boom going on here because this is a part of Iraq where they can actually drill for oil. While the vast majority of oil production is in the south, there's also oil production slowly but surely coming online here. And as a result, you can see new construction all over Erbil, which is the capital of Kurdistan. Kurdistan is in a huge battle with Baghdad. They want to be able to pump their own oil and sell their own oil. Baghdad says they don't have the right to. Kurdistan doesn't care. Take a look at what they've been pumping in 2014. They have been ramping up production dramatically. They're at more than 200,000 barrels per day, and their goals are pretty grand. They hope to be pumping 500,000 barrels per day by the end of the year, 1 million barrels by the end of next year, and 2 million barrels by the end of 2019. Kurdistan had a problem. Iraq wouldn't help them export their oil. The pipeline that runs to Turkey was in official Iraqi territory. So what did Kurdistan do? Built its own pipeline. $500 million they spent. It's got a capacity of 300,000 barrels per day. Before, they were actually trucking oil to Turkey. But now they've been able to reduce the cost of shipping from $20 per barrel to only $10 per barrel. Now, a lot of the major oil companies have actually gotten licenses here, even though they could face some repercussions from Baghdad. They also have operations in the south, but Gazprom, ExxonMobil, Total of France, Chevron as well, have exploration licenses in Kurdistan. There are two companies that are actually hoping already to pump and to actually use this new pipeline, Janel and DNO. Janel, the CEO of Janel, is a guy named Tony Hayward. You probably remember him. He was the CEO of BP during the Gulf of Mexico oil spill. DNO is headquartered in Norway. They too hope to be and are using the pipeline. The issue they face is once the oil gets to Turkey, once they load it up on tankers, because there are disputes with Baghdad, they've actually not been able to sell 2 full tankers that are floating out in the ocean right now with more than 2 million barrels of oil. That just happened within the last 3 weeks, even before we saw this big insurgency start up. I spoke with Fala Mustafa. He is the head of the Minister of External Relations here in Kurdistan. And when it comes to the fight that they're having with Baghdad, he says basically they don't really care what Baghdad thinks.
They want to control the economy. They want to control the energy, they want to control the security. Then why should we be part of a country when that country doesn't treat you equally?
There have been suggestions for arbitration. Baghdad would actually get 83% of the revenue that comes from Kurdistan selling oil. Kurdistan would get only 17%. That's the current structure under the constitution. But still, Baghdad very much wants to stay in control of all oil production and also exports as well. The question is, the situation now, so dire on the ground and with such a strong military in Kurdistan, is it possible that the Kurd government says to Baghdad, we'll help you out, but you have to make a deal when it comes to oil?